2009, a crack sniper unit was sent to a prison by a military court for a crime they didn't commit. These men promptly escaped from a maximum security stockade to the Wiltshire Underground. Today, still wanted by the government, they survive as pest controllers of fortune. If you have a problem, if no one else can help, and if you can find them, then maybe you can hire VerminHuntersTV.
I pity the fool goes home crying to his mama.
I love it when a plan comes together. As soon as I find out who I am, you'll be the first to know.
Well, welcome to VerminHuntersTV with me, David Thomas.
And me, Si Pitway.
And my good friend, Charlie, on the end.
Hi.
Today we're down at the dairy farm, and also we're going to be shooting at the dry grain store. Si and myself will be going up to the dry grain store. Charlie's going to be staying here down at the dairy farm, and then we're going to combine the two shoots together. Si, you want to say something about...
I'd just like to show you this item here. I'll just come a little bit closer to the camera. This is the new lightweight battery, what's kindly been sent to me and Davy by Phil and Dave at Night Sight. You can see lithium battery. Comes in a nice canvas case. It's all velcroed, so it closes to secure the battery, and then on the back you get the actual straps here what go around the stock. And I'm going to be using this tonight for the first time. It should be alright. You can see there's only a short lead, so there's not going to be loads of leads hanging out the rifle like there was in my previous model. What are you using, Charlie?
Tonight I'm using my little ratting gun, which is a Falcon Light Hunter 177 with a little Stinger lamp on the front and a little Nico Sterling Mount Master scope.
What pellets do you use for that?
It's air arms.
Nice.
And that's a 3940, Charlie?
Yes.
Nice. Okay then guys, we'll get straight to the action.
Right, we've just pulled up to the grain store now, and Davey's opening the main door, and I spot these two rats with a night sight. So I centre the crosshair, and the first one gets an air arms to the head, but his mate decides to hang around and see what's going on. So I reload, centre the crosshair again, and shoot the second rat. I then pan over to the left and see a third rat, which I'm just about to shoot, but the actual main door on the grain store bangs, and the rat runs off, as seen here.
Crazy fool.
I thought this rat was going to be a really easy shot. It was nicely sideways on, and I estimated it being around about 25 metres, which is my 22 HW100-0. You can see I take the shot, but I think I could slightly stun the rat because it gives me a second shot. But this time it looks towards the IR, and this time I placed the crosshair just a little bit higher, so on the 30-metre point on the SR Pro reticle, and you can see the rat rolls over, it hits it straight in the forehead, and it dies very humanely. Estimating ranges to targets in the pitch black through night vision is really hard, and this rat, Davey estimated it being quite close at around about 10 yards, so he's given it a slight bit of holdover. You can see the shot actually impacted high and the rat rolled over, and we did find it later on just other side of the wall.
I thought that was about 10 yards.
I've left this in from the start to show you I start off really low for spotting and then turn up the actual intensity on the night sight IR before setting the parallax to get a nice crisp picture. What I then do then is turn on the illuminated crosshair and then zoom in, knowing that the actual picture is in focus to give me a nice clear shot. You can see this rat was it yet again, straight between the eyes, very humanely. 22 caliber air arms did its job really well, and the rat just expired and died very quickly. This is a lovely clear piece of footage from Davey, and he places the crosshair just between the rat's eyes, but unfortunately for us, when he shoots it, it moves it to the right and we find it the other side of the machinery. This is another rat what just pokes its head out, and it's hit nicely in the head but manages to just die the other side of the barn door.
Hey man, this time we're gonna do it my way.
This rat I knew was further away than 25 metres my zero, so I estimated it at 30 metres, putting the 30-metre point on the SR Pro reticle on the rat's head, but I slightly wobbled, as you saw, when I took the shot, and when we found that rat, it had been hit perfectly in the heart and lungs, which was a lot of luck, really.
Shut up, fool!
At this part of the night I witnessed 2 or 3 rats playing chase with each other. You can see one that runs to the right there and then jumps over a pallet, and then his mate comes from the left and runs by him. But this is the one I decided to target first, and you can see half his body is covered by the corner of a pallet. In a little while I turn on the illuminated reticle of the Hawk SR Pro and centre it on the rat's head, and as I take the shot you see that it jumps to the right, but his tail flickers as he dies behind the pallet. Like so. I then decide to have a look right and hopefully find out where the other rat had run to. And there he is, hiding underneath a pallet. This time I reload the HW100 and place the crosshair on the back of his ear. You can see that rat rolls over nicely, and this is where a multi-shot really does earn its keep. Because if you're using a single shot you might not just have time to reload and get all these rats. I then scan to the right and then back up to the left, and I find the third rat not far away from where the first one was shot, just poking his eye out. I zoom in and reload the HW100 again and place the crosshair just to the left hand side of his eye, and this rat rolls over nicely too. As you can see, all 3 of these rats were picked up at the end. This rat was outside the dry grain store. You can see I turn on the illuminated reticle. It's around about 25 metres from where I was actually sat, and you can see it was hit nicely in the brain and rolled straight over. See, there's a couple of rats here eating some of the grain on the floor. This one turns sideways on, which was a big mistake. And you can see it gets hit nice and cleanly yet again. I've left this in for our overseas subscribers to show you that a sub 12 foot-pound rifle still got plenty of power to go straight through these vermin and into the back wall. This rat could definitely sense danger, and you can see it goes on its back legs in a minute and sniffs the air. By this stage though I'd already locked the crosshair onto its head and it was over. You can see it rolled over and expired quickly. This can happen quite a lot when you're shooting rats. You can see this one's quite a big one. It's licking the blood on the dead ones, and I get a nice clean headshot on it. Like so. It rolls over, but then with nerves it pushes itself forward, and this happens with quite a lot of rats, and they just manage to get off camera shot, making people think that they've been wounded when actually they're dead. This is probably some of the best footage I've ever seen of proving rats are cannibals, and you can see this rat here is eating the brains and the blood of one of his fallen comrades, and he's absolutely enjoying it. You can see he's so happy chewing away on that brain box. However, it doesn't pay to be a cannibal, and as you can see this rat suffers a nice 177 air arms pellet to the brain, another quality shot from Davy and his air arms S410. This is me now targeting this rat just outside the barn entrance, and you can see I've got the night sight turned right down but still get a really clear picture. Illuminated crosshair just to the side of the eye, and another precision shot there rolling the rat straight over. This footage here just shows you how important a multi-shot PCP can be when shooting this many rats. This time the rat just moves as I pull the trigger, and you can see the pellet skims past the front of his nose. That's because it's a 2.2 and it's slower than a 1.77. I reload though and take the next shot, which rolls it straight over nice and cleanly. This rat appears just underneath this pallet, and I'm not quite sure what I'm trying to do here. I think I'm trying to find the best illumination setting for the illuminated crosshair, but you can see I do take a nice clean shot and the rat falls straight down just behind the beam he's resting on, and we pick him up a little bit later on. This is another cannibalistic rat what's quite happily eating the brains and licking up the blood from his falling comrade. He's probably around about 25 metres away again there, and he's enjoying a bit of blood there from the head wound of his comrade. But he makes a mistake by turning his head sideways on and giving me a shot. You can see he pays for it by rolling over with an air arms cleanly placed in his brain. This is the last shot of the night for me, and it's really close and I couldn't actually get it in focus. It's inside the dry grain store, but as you can see it fell down nicely.
Well, there you go folks, there's the 24 rats, and on the left hand side is a size HW 100.22. On the right hand side is my air arms S410 177. A good night's ratting.
Got quite a few in here, Charlie.
Yeah.
I'll tip them apart.
Big bugger. Oh, that's a bigger nut, isn't it?
They're all big rats down here, yeah.
Yeah. They feed well though, don't they?
I'm just going to zoom in a sec, lads.
It just goes to show you don't need to spend hundreds of pounds on a night vision unit like Charlie's got. A little Stinger lamp with a red filter.
That's it.
And look, he's had a great tally here.
I think Charlie was using his Bresser unit, 5x50
Yes.
handheld monocular.
Is that for spotting, right?
Yeah.
10, 11, 12, 13, 14. 14 big rats. Nice.
How did you find your battery tonight, Si?
Well done.
Oh, it was really good. Put it onto the stock and I managed to actually fold the little bit of lead actually under the Velcro, so there was actually none apart from what I needed actually going into the back of the night sight unit itself. So there were no cables in the way, and I did find that actually shooting it with the battery on the stock, it didn't interfere with how the rifle handled it whatsoever, so it was absolutely really good bit of kit.
Well, there you go, lads. That's the footage what we've collected from the dairy farm and from the dry grain store. So if you like what you see, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and you'll see more footage from Si, myself, and from Charlie lamping down at the dairy farm. Thanks for watching.